In this movie, we're going to look at how to make an invisible button. I've already got a file set up here with 4 invisible buttons, and then I'll show you how to create an invisible button with an existing button. You can always tell an invisible button when you're authoring in Flash because it's represented by a translucent teal colored, in this case rectangle, representing the buttons. The rectangle is actually the shape of the hit state in your button. And again, you can see it here because it's got that pale blue transparent appearance to it. I'm going to do a test movie and I'll demonstrate these invisible buttons and then we'll create one. Just go to test movie, test. And if I roll over where those rectangles were, you can see that my invisible button pops up a rollover graphic. So I've got one up here, one for number 2, one for number 3, and one for number 4. So we'll take number 5 and we'll convert that to an invisible button as well. So let me just close this. Now, as I said, it's an already created button. If I highlight that and go to my properties, you will see its instance of button 5. So to get into the button, we just double click on it. And the basic principle here is that if the up state is blank, if there's no content in the up state, it does qualify as an invisible button. Now what I want to do here is I want to take this graphic that's currently in the up state and just have it appear in the over state, that is to say when the user has their mouse roll over the hit state. So I'll start by just grabbing this keyframe and dragging it over to the over state. And what that did was it left a blank keyframe in the up state and moved the graphic to the over state. Now I'm going to go to the hit state and highlight that and hit F7 on my keyboard, which creates an empty keyframe. And I'm just going to draw a rectangle. No stroke, I'll make it a slightly brighter color. And let's just say when they roll over the house and that little shadow, that this will determine the hit zone. And this is what they will see when they hit it. So let's just go back up to scene 1. And there you go, you can see the translucent blue color of the hit zone. And if I test this now, Control, test movie, test, you can see it manifest itself. There we go. So very basic. An invisible button, take 3. Basically an invisible button is where there is no graphic in the up state and there's definitely a graphic in the hit state. Now it's optional if you want to have a rollover appear in the over state or a mouse down appear in the down state. So long as you have a graphic in the hit state, it does qualify and function as an invisible button. And that is how you make invisible buttons in Flash.